alien king gave the human an alien female beggar as a gift. Then something incredible happened. When Captain Elias Joran first landed on the obsidian plains of Ternax Prime, he expected negotiations, not tribute. He was Earth's sole emissary to the Ternax Dominion, a race of towering, scaled beings with crimson eyes and serrated tongues. Ternax had just ended a war with its rebellious moon colonies, and now they wanted peace and trade with Earth. On the third day of diplomatic ceremonies, the alien king made his final gesture. "This," the king declared in a thunderous voice, gesturing to the caged figure brought forth by guards, "is a gift." Elias's jaw tightened. Inside the rusted cage knelt a female Ternax, younger, smaller than the warriors, and clothed in ragged wraps. Dirt clung to her violet skin, and her yellow eyes flicked up at Elias with hollow disinterest. "A beggar?" Elias asked, stunned. "She is of no use to us," the king said. "She was born of discarded caste. Her life is filth. But perhaps to a human, even waste has value." The court laughed. Elias did not. He looked at the girl, her shoulders hunched, her body bruised, her spirit seemingly broken. "What's her name?" he asked. "None," the king replied. "Such things are earned." Elias nodded slowly, then turned to the cage and pressed the unlock rune. The guard stiffened, unsure what he was doing. He extended a hand through the bars. The girl flinched. But he didn't move. "You're free now," he said softly. Her eyes widened, just a flicker, then she slowly reached out her thin, trembling hand. Their fingers touched. The court whispered in confusion. Elias turned back to the king. "I accept your gift," he said, "but not as a servant. As an honored guest." The laughter stopped. He brought her back to the diplomatic quarters, a tall, echoing structure made of silver bone-like beams. She didn't speak. Didn't eat the first day. Barely moved. She sat in a corner, as if afraid of being struck for existing. On the second day, he placed a bowl of broth near her. She looked at it. Then at him. Then devoured it like a starving animal. On the third day, she whispered, "Why?" He looked up from his translator tablet. "Why what? Why not hurt me?" Elias's heart cracked at her voice. She sounded like someone who had only known pain and expected it as default. "I don't hurt people," he said. "Not unless they try to hurt others." "I'm useless," she murmured. "They called me street slime." "You're not useless," he said. "You're alive. That's more than most." She looked at him like he spoke a foreign language. He taught her to use utensils. Taught her to speak common. She learned quickly, hungrier for words than for food. By the 10th day, she asked, "Do I still belong to you?" "No one belongs to anyone," he said. She frowned. "But I was given to you." "No. You were given a chance. The king didn't know what he gave me." She tilted her head. "What did he give you?" He smiled. "Someone worth more than 1,000 soldiers." She flushed a deep violet and looked away. She began to walk upright again. Stopped flinching at every motion. Started to smile. Her name, he learned on the 15th day, was Syaja. "I made it up," she said. "It means shadow flower in my old dialect." He nodded. "It suits you." "Why?" "Because you came from the dark, but you're blooming now." Word spread. The beggar had become something more. Ternax nobles began to whisper about the human and his strange pet. Then they saw her walk beside him in clean robes, speaking their language, responding with wit and grace. Some began to bow to her, uncertain if she had become an ambassador or a sorceress. On the 20th day, the king summoned Elias again. "You have caused unrest," the king growled. "I haven't done anything," Elias said calmly. "You uplifted garbage." Now the nobles question the bloodlines. She's not garbage. And if nobles are scared of one woman learning to stand, maybe their lines aren't as strong as they think. The king's eyes burned. I gave her to mock you. Elias stood tall. And I thank you for it. Because now she walks free. She's more Ternax than any of you. The king slammed a clawed hand on the table. You insult me. No, a voice interrupted. The king turned. It was her. Sieja stepped forward, unafraid. Her robe shimmered with woven starlight, a gift Elias had bartered from the Moonmakers. You insult yourself, she said. By thinking someone born in shadow cannot shine. The court gasped. A noble stepped forward. How dare! Sieja raised her hand. Silence. And they obeyed. The king's lip curled. You think you are noble now? No, Sieja said softly. I am more than noble. I am proof that your caste is a lie. The silence was absolute. Then the king stood. And to everyone's shock, he bowed. To the woman who rose from ashes, he said. Later that night, Elias and Sieja stood beneath the twin moons. You didn't have to stand up to him, Elias said. I did, she replied. Because I wasn't just speaking for me. I was speaking for every one of us they've stepped over. He looked at her, his eyes warm. So, what now? She smiled. I'm going to build a school. For the forgotten. Teach them to read. To speak. To see themselves. And you? I want to stay at your side, she whispered. But not as a gift. Not as a servant. As Sieja. He took her hand. As Sieja, he repeated. Not mine. But walking with me. She nodded. And they stood there, a human and the girl once called trash, now a rising sun.